everybody, and welcome back to the United Stand. It is Manchester United versus Liverpool. It is Manchester United's cup final this season, our biggest game of the season yet. It is our lasting hope for any silverware. It's at Old Trafford. Man United must get the job done. It's going to be a huge game, and joining us for the build-up show, we have Mordzs and we have Faz.
Yes.
Woo! Are we excited, guys? Are you excited, everyone?
Very excited.
In the comments.
FA Cup, you know, kind of getting goosebumps thinking about Marcus Rashford scoring today. So hopefully we can see that happen.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I am very much ready. And on top of that, it's Liverpool, and beating Liverpool is just, it'll always be memorable. So yeah.
Do you know what I see it as? I see it as the fact, you know, it's Klopp's final season. We got a draw at Anfield, which is, you know, quite a decent result, to be honest with you. 2 games now. We've got the FA Cup and we've got them in the league, both at home. Let's beat them both times on Klopp's final season. They've had enough over us since Klopp's been at Liverpool. Let's beat them both times. Yeah. But today's even more important, Mordzs, because it can't end in a draw. Someone's got to win.
Yeah, 100%. I'm always optimistic anyway, so I'm always going to go for United to win. But literally, what you just said is perfect. This is our chance to ruin Liverpool's year. We can absolutely ruin their season by they think they're going to win the, what are they calling it, the quadruple? I don't know why they're calling it a quadruple. Whatever they want to call it.
To be fair though, if we were doing it, we'd be saying
I mean, I'm a shameless United fan as well, but yeah, we have a chance to absolutely ruin Liverpool's farewell, their club farewell, and take something of them. So, you know, hopefully that's a bit more motivation for the players and you know, for everyone at the club anyway to get this win.
Yeah, also everyone, Ricky will be joining us after team news comes in. He's in Cape Verde, he's on his holidays. He's absolutely. We remember when we got realised the game was moved to today, he thought it was going to be Sheffield United. That's why he booked his holiday, and then Liverpool. So he's gutted he can't be here. I'm sure he'll be watching, but he will be tuning in to the build-up show. His thoughts on the team news, and if we win, I'm going to get him to call into the forum as well. So everyone, stay tuned for that. Rickster. I mean, Faz, Casemiro's out today.
Yeah.
Who starts as CDM for you?
You know, it's a big ask for Kobe to drop in there, but I think that's the only best option that we have. And then Bruno and Scott McTominay playing the role. I know Mason Mount is back in the squad, which is interesting. And some would say it's positive. I hope it can be a positive addition. Obviously, we've not seen enough of him this season for us to know how he can gel. And obviously now Mino coming in there as well. I was going to work out with that. But whatever it is, I hope it's more positive than anything. And if he does come on in the second half, that he can bring some sort of forward addition to the scoring line. I wouldn't mind though seeing him start over McTominay, only because I would rather have Scott McTominay coming off the bench and being that, you know, Iron Man crasher in the box and try and nick us a goal or something when we need one. So
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any doubt McTominay starts today.
I don't. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't mind if he was on the bench, but like you said, I don't think there's any doubt Scott's going to start because Mason's only just come back from injury. Yeah. But it'll be Kobe Mino dropping in.
Do you think? I think it'll be McTominay.
You think so?
As a DM?
Oh, to be fair, he probably will. He probably will put it onto Mino, which is so. I feel sorry for the guy because obviously his best position is an 8, isn't it? Yeah. He can do it, but he progresses more as an 8. What do you think, Mordzs?
I think it's about how we go at this game because I have a feeling we're not going to take this. Or Ten Hag's not going to take this game the same way how we took the first. The first time we played him earlier this season. I think he was under. Yes, there's a lot of pressure still now, but before I feel like he set up kind of a bit scared. He set up in a sense of, I'm just going to set up to try not concede, and if we do score, happy days. But I feel like today, because we've got Bruno back. Last game we didn't have Bruno. I don't think we had Rashford the last game as well. Because we have a bit more of an attacking threat. Obviously, Hojlund's back in the team. Last time we played Liverpool, Hojlund wasn't really firing at all. And obviously now he's got a bit more form. I feel like he's going to try and take it a little bit more to Liverpool. Obviously, we're at home as well. So if he sets up like that, and we're not just setting up as, you know, everyone just pretty much sit back, maybe we might see Manu progress a bit further up the pitch, and we might try and play, I don't know, we might try and play a little bit of football, but
sorry, I had to laugh at that.
we might have a few more shots.
That made me laugh.
It is a bit funny. We might try and play a bit more football compared to the last time.
We can't string 5 passes together when we play any decent team.
Right?
We could string 5 passes together against Luton.
Even considering that, Manchester United, we still create chances.
Yeah.
Even if they're like 1 or 2 odd chances here and there, we'll still create a chance one way or another. It's all about making those chances count because obviously they're going to have more opportunities in the game than us. We already know that, we accept that. we might have to defend more, but, you know, in transition, in set piece, make those moments count, you know, really punish them if you can. Just like we did against Man City. I know we ended up losing that game, but, you know, one little chance came, Rashford thundered it into goal, and you know, we got a lot from that game, just thinking, you know, we can do moments like that. So that's, I think, what we need to do. And obviously the crowd are going to be massively behind the team, which will be massive help as well.
Yeah, it'll be huge for us. I mean, guess what? I mean, hopefully we don't do this. I mean, I don't see us going 2 ahead anyway against Liverpool, but Chelsea, the £1 billion bottlers, again, it's 2-2 between Leicester and Chelsea. Apparently a Leicester screamer, and it's 2-2, 30 minutes remaining. So what do we think about that, everyone?
Sitter, didn't he?
Yeah, what do we think about that? Everyone also, please get in your super chats. Who would you play in midfield? What are you expecting from the team today? How do you think we should set up? Any hot takes, anything like that, get them in and we'll discuss that as well. This is your show as much as ours. But I was hoping for a Chelsea United final, but go on Leicester.
I mean, that's typical Chelsea this season, to just bottle it. I mean, well, I just saw it on goal just then. What was that? That was, if anyone's watching, I haven't seen the first Chelsea goal. Go and watch it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Chelsea are just, like I said, this season typical. I'm not going to be surprised if they lose this game. I'll be honest. But a Chelsea United final, I don't know. I feel like, you know what it is? When it comes to them final games, you never know. In my opinion, it's still 50-50. Even though they've had a terrible season, it could come to a final and Chelsea could just turn it on. Same way they turned it on against City when they played them. So I'd still definitely rather a Leicester in the final, or, you know, a smaller team. But yeah, they're struggling right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. I mean,
the thing is that they do create chances.
Could go to extra time.
Even though they, you know, they're below us in the league, and a lot of people are thinking they're bottlers. If you really watch their football, you will see they do create a lot of chances.
Just can't finish.
And it's just finishing is the issue. And with Nicholas Jackson and Sterling, I don't know what it is. I don't know if Sterling's been having too much rice and peas or what
too
it
much
is.
curry goat.
I don't know, but he used to be a top-class finisher, and this season he's not been that. It's Cole Palmer who's been carrying Chelsea more than anything. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting one. I mean, mid-table team, championship team, level now is what it is. But Man United today, we've got to do the business. Can't get too cocky. I mean, we're facing a tougher opposition, but we've got to do the business. Also, guys, Mason Mount back in the squad. How about that? I'm absolutely buzzing about that. Everyone who's
your favourite player, your favourite TikToker, your favourite influencer.
Do you know what's funny? Do you know what's absolutely hilarious, actually? I got an absolute cooking for Onana, saying I wanted Onana and Mount. An absolute cooking. Like, people sending me DMs, every single show, never listen to what Beth says. She wanted Onana and Mount. Onana's actually been decent since 2024. I will be keeping the receipts, although people were keeping my receipts on Twitter as well. And then Mason Mount, I'm telling you, like, the guy's barely played. When he eventually comes in, I don't know what position he's going to come into. I'm not saying he's going to be, you know, David Beckham, but he's going to be a good player for Man United at 25.
He's going to be an impact.
Yeah, he is. He is going to make an impact. Like, I think people are underestimating how good he was at Chelsea. I mean, won Champions League winning assist to Kai Havertz, Player of the Year.
The thing is, Beth, it's not that he's a poor player or not. I think he's a good player. Yeah. I don't see how he fits into our team.
That's what I was going to say.
I don't mind a player like Mason Mount. That's the issue. If you're Eric Ten Hag, and just before the window starts last summer, you're looking at your whiteboard, scratching your head, and you're thinking, right, my midfielders, I have Bruno, I have Casemiro, I have Eriksen, and then you're thinking about Kobe Mino in there. You're going to have to think, how can I possibly replace a player like Eriksen, with no disrespect, who's younger and has a bit more energy and a bit more physicality? That's what I would need to bring in. He's gone and brought in a replacement or someone to compete with Bruno Fernandes when he really didn't need to. But that's why.
I think the reality.
You complain about Bruno, though. So
sorry?
You complain about Bruno.
And I would love Mason Mount to go and challenge for Bruno's position.
I think the reality.
And that was my theory, by the way. My theory was that Eric Ten Hag had bought Mason Mount to filter out Bruno Fernandes in a season or two. Yeah,
I think the reality is he wanted to play with like 2 10s. He wanted to play with Bruno and Mason at the same time. But I think because Mainoo's come in and because Mainoo's made such a big impact, in my opinion, he's irreplaceable right now. Mainoo is someone you can't drop because that's a hole in the midfield. That's a big part of the midfield which can't be replaced by anybody else. So because Mainoo's come in, I feel like that's really the main reason why Mount has nowhere to go now because Casemiro is still, when he's available to play, he's still going to be starting. So that leaves only one other position, which is at 8, and Mainoo's taking that. So I think that's the problem that Mason Mount has right now, the fact that Mainoo's playing so well and he's such a vital part of the team.
The thing is, Kobe Mainoo is the type of player that you would want to build around.
Yeah.
Same, I'll be honest, if you're going to keep Andre Onana for long term, that's a keeper you build around. Rasmus Hojlund is a player that you build around. Alejandro is a player that you build around. These are the players that you need to build around. Dalot is a player that you need to build around. You okay?
No, carry on.
Because I heard something.
No.
Yeah, you sure?
I just thought of something.
Yeah, lower your volume. Yeah, lower it, mate. So, yeah, these are the players that you build around.
Different opinions. We've got Gerald Caulfield, welcome to United Members Club. Darren Mulaney, member for 24 months. I would put Amrabat, Mainoo, rest Bruno for Mount. You're resting Bruno for Liverpool? Come on now. It's not going to happen, but a lot of people would want to see that, I think, but it's not going to happen.
Is Rasmus likely to start as well today?
Well, this is an investment. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. And also super chat from Merkander saying, is Hojlund playing? I'm going to speak about that. Would you guys bring Hojlund straight back in, or would you bring him off the bench today?
I'd bring him off the bench. I would have started.
Me too.
Because I would ask Marcus to hold it down for me for at least one half in the middle. Play. Again, this is my what I would do. Obviously, Eric is not going to do that. I would play Anthony on the left, and I'd play Garnacho on the right, and I'd ask Marcus to do a job for me in the middle, just for the first half. And then in the second half, I'd bring energetic Rasmus on and push Rashford to the left and go back to the proper front three again.
I'd start him. This is bearing in mind if he is 100% fit, because if he's like when players come back sometimes 70%, 80%, and they still might have to warm into like full match fitness. If he is 100% fit, I'd start him. The only reason why is because I feel like Liverpool will grow into the game, and I feel like it'll be a lot more difficult later on in the game for us to be able to get chances. And one thing that I feel like United have to do is get those chances done early. Because the same way how we played against City and we got that goal and we had a couple more chances in that first half, which if we took them, the game would have been completely different. There was a chance that Rashford had, I think, at the back post, and he kind of fumbled it a little bit. If we had taken those early chances and we got a decent lead, a strong lead, the game would have been completely different. We would have went into half-time 2-1 up, or maybe even 2-0 up. So I feel like if Hojlund does start and we get those chances and he does take them, and we get that early lead, it'll be a bit more momentum rather than trying to just hold off Liverpool for 45 minutes and just hope they don't score.
Got the Liverpool team, if you want to know it.
Okay.
So this is from Anfield sector, so it's a Leeds lineup, so I don't know if it's 100%, but I thought I'd share it with everyone. Kelleher in net, and then you've got a back four of Gomez, Quansah, Virgil van Dijk and Robertson. So obviously that's the young centre-back coming in. He played, I think he came on...
Chelsea got a penalty.
Oh, really? Mm. Well... This young centre-back Quansah, he's played a little bit recently. He's come into the team. He's actually looked quite decent, to be honest, but Konate is out. Then you've got a midfield of Endo, McAllister and Szoboszlai, and a front three of Diaz, Salah and Darwin Núñez. So it's a pretty strong lineup from Liverpool, which is what you'd expect. But in that lineup, one thing I would say is, if it is Gomez playing it right back, which I assume it will be, Rashford can get at him. That's why you've got to play Rashford on the left. If Hojlund doesn't start, which I think I would ease him back in because I'm frightened to death of him getting injured again. If Hojlund doesn't start, I think you play the first half with Bruno false nine. Like it did work the first half against City, and then take it up a level, bring Hojlund off the bench after half time. Give Rashford his best position off the left, play Garnacho off the right. That's what I'd be doing.
Casemiro's a huge miss, because I was thinking of how I would go about this. I would play Rashford on the left and then play Bruno as a false nine. But then I would have had to use Casemiro, McTominay and Kobe Mainoo in the midfield. Yeah. Casemiro's not there. Eriksen. But then Eriksen, you would think is absolutely, going to get cooked in that midfield. So it's a tough one, this. I might even play Bruno Fernandes false nine and just play an extra defender and just wait it out till the first half, and then in the second half.
I think it's risky to wait it out. I'm not gonna lie, because you know what?
You want to use the Old Trafford crowd, don't you, and get an early goal?
Yeah, that 100%. But one recurring thing that we've seen this season is United, our heads going down quick. And when our heads go down, it's down for the rest of the game. There's not a lot of times this season where we've gone down and we've somehow just managed to fight and bring it back. A lot of times we go down and it's just everyone's just heads down. No one's really the effort level has dropped. I feel like if we start off the game strong, and we keep that energy, we keep that momentum, it will take us through the rest of the game. So I would personally, I think obviously we all know that the wingers, in my opinion, our wingers are going to be our main threat because of how high Liverpool's wingers, fullbacks push forward. So, like you said, I think Rashford 100% is going to be a big threat. Garnacho is going to be a big threat, and I'm hoping that it's going to be difficult. But Hojlund, Van Dijk, Van Dijk's definitely going to give him a difficult game. But if he can somehow find his ways into those channels, into those trying to cut in behind, I think that's going to be our best chance of getting a goal.
Yeah, apparently that Chelsea penalty, people are saying the chat shouldn't have been a penalty, and Leicester have actually had a red card for it. So that's game over, really, I think. Wow. We'll see. Never know with Chelsea, though, do you? Never know with Chelsea. But in terms of, kind of looking towards our game today and looking at what we expect, Ten Hag did say in his pre-match interview that cup games are do or die, and we need the players and the fans to give energy to each other if we are to progress to the semi-finals. The prize on offer today is huge: a return to Wembley, a step closer to our major trophy, and a win over our biggest rivals. He's absolutely right. It is do or die today. Faz, I mean, are you expecting the players to really, really turn up today, to have that battle and have that fight, have that grit between the teeth?
Without shadow of a doubt. Without shadow of a doubt, because not only is it playing Liverpool, but in addition to that, you have the opportunity to go and win a trophy. Go take the fans to Wembley, and that the way the season's panned out, I think it would be a great way of paying us something back for the misery that we've suffered this season. I'd be very, very proud of the boys and the manager, actually, if he manages to take us to the final. So, when you play for Manchester United, I'll be honest, I don't think you should need to be motivated. Nobody should be having to motivate you.
You shouldn't be motivated for Liverpool at home to get to Wembley, in a cup game.
But we have some leaders in the changing room that will definitely help us. The likes of Bruno, the likes of Varane, the likes of Diogo Dalot in there as well.
I just keep looking at it.
Apparently, sorry, I know we keep banging on about it, but apparently, was people saying Sterling sent it into space?
Yes.
But then people are saying the pen was overturned. Let me know in the chat what actually happened. So the pen was overturned. It was a free kick. He did get red carded, the Leicester player, but the pen was overturned, and the free kick, I think Sterling took it and it went into space.
So it's still 2-2.
So it's still 2-2. Still to play for in that game. But breaking team news here for you from the United stand. All the talk has been, is Rasmus Hojlund going to play for Manchester United today? Well, he is fit and he's in the starting 11 for Manchester United. Rasmus returns, and even though I said I wanted to ease him in, I'm absolutely buzzing with starting, I can't lie.
Happy with that.
We've missed him massively. We really have.
Definitely happy with that. I don't see why. I just hope that he's fully fit. Don't want to be risking him as much as he's a big game today. We've got big games as well in the league. After Spurs bottling it yesterday as well. So but it's nice way to start. I think I can already imagine it'll probably be Rashford on the left, Garnacho on the right. It'll be Bruno. The rest of the line, I think, can just make it out from there. I think that was the one position that you'd have question marks over. Yeah,
and I think he's gonna be crucial to that press as well, especially against a team like Liverpool. We're not going to have the ball a lot, so having someone like Hojlund who can lead the press, which we all know how crucial it is for the front line to be the ones to start the press as a unit, and then everyone kind of press together. And I think Hojlund's probably the best player that we have at that, so I think it's going to be super important.
Hojlund against Van Dijk, Ed. But, there's a young centre-back in there. He actually does look quite good, to be honest. But, play on that a little bit. Yeah. I mean, what do we expect do we expect our midfield to be then off the back of that? So you think because Ricky's going to come on, he's going to say this, I'm sure he's going to bring it up. He's going to say, a midfield with Bruno in it, especially, as he's playing as a 10, it does have gaps, it has holes. Liverpool are going to be able to get at us,
Yeah, Endo's been fantastic for them as well.
He's been brilliant.
What a player he's been.
The best thing that ever happened to Liverpool, right, was them missing out on signing Caicedo.
Yeah.
Them missing out on signing Caicedo, they were going to drop 115 mil on him, right? Or 100 mil, whatever the bid was.
110 was it?
110, right? obviously, he was basically done. Last minute, he honours, his word to Chelsea, goes there.
Yeah.
No offence, but he's been really poor at Chelsea. Like, I thought he was
been as poor as people make it
I thought he was a good player.
I
Honestly, I thought he was a good player, but I think it's Chelsea's now. It's turned into that sort of United where any signing goes there, they struggle, they start to sink. Cole Palmer hasn't, but a lot of signings that go there, they are like that. But off the back of that, they then go and sign Endo for what?
But Malo Gusto is a top player as well, don't forget.
It's true. Malo Gusto, I wish we signed him so much. He's perfect for what we would have needed, and young and everything like that. Then they went and signed Endo for how much did they sign him for? Like 17 million, something stupid like that. And he's been arguably one of their players of the season, I'd say. He's been that good. Yeah, I think
that Liverpool's main problem was their midfield anyway, because they lost. I mean, in the past three years, they lost pretty much everyone. You know what I mean? And they brought in Szoboszlai, who's had a great season. Yep. Endo's obviously had a great season. McAllister's had a great season, and they've still got young talents like Harvey Elliott, Jones, another obviously a great player. So I think that's kind of turned into one of their strong points. You know what I mean? I think it's because of the balance as well. It works very well. They don't have big gaps in the midfield. Everyone kind of works well. They play like 2-8 sometimes. I think their signings this season has been amazing. Yeah. I'm a bit jealous.
They have.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's crazy. I'm just thanking my chickens that they didn't end up getting Jude Bellingham, because he would have been absolutely insane in there, wouldn't he? And obviously, I'm just so happy he went to Madrid and didn't go to another Prem team, that's all I can say. Get in the comments, by the way, get your super chats in, let us know your thoughts, how you're feeling nervous, anything you want to get off your chest, let us know. But also get in the comments, because we're going to do ours now. Before the team news come in, what would be your starting three midfield then? Would we all agree on Mainu, McTominay and Bruno?
We don't have a choice,
really. We don't have a choice. I mean,
Amrabat.
Mason.
Amrabat would come in. I don't think Mason's fit.
I think he's an option though. But
if he was, would you play him?
He won't be fit enough for that.
If he was, would you play him?
Yeah.
I think it's risky,
Based on the injuries that we have and the selections, I would have,
I think that's risky to play Mason and Bruno at the same time. That's very risky.
I would have asked him to play the 8 today. Yeah. And I think he would have done okay.
Yeah, he's got the energy.
That's why.
I don't think people have given Mason a proper chance, to be honest. But we'll see what he's made of.
But he won't be match fit.
What about Amrabat? Everyone's forgetting about him. Is that City mistake putting everyone off, or?
He's not really grown into his position, has he?
Yeah, I don't actually think Amrabat's a bad player. I think people do overdo it a little bit, because when he first came to the team, I think what he was doing at that point was good, and I think it was what we needed. I just think it's when we ask too much of him, that's when we see the flaws, we see mistakes, we see a bit of a liability. I think if we keep his role very simple, we don't force him on the ball too much, because that's when he makes the most mistakes. And we kind of just ask him to be kind of like the legs in the team, kind of like how Fred was. Be a bit of legs, cover whoever he's playing next to, whether it's Mainu or McTominay or whatever, kind of just cover them, give him a bit of space or whatnot. Then I think that's when we're going to see the best out of Amrabat. But it's just them liabilities, them little mistakes that he makes, especially when he's the deepest player. That's when everyone kind of like, whoa, I don't want Amrabat in the team.
Let's do a poll. Let's run a poll actually. Can you play Mount and Bruno in the same midfield? Let's see what the chat think about this. I think you can.
Yeah. I was also going to say I can imagine Kobe and Sofian playing together as a double pivot. Helping the back line, just to play a little bit defensive. I know Mordzs probably wouldn't prefer that. He'd probably want to go a bit more attacking. But I think just to be on the safe side, that's what I would have gone as well. I think that would have been a safe shout. But let's not forget, I think Sofian Amrabat would be fasting. So
yeah, but I mean,
brother's gonna get run.
But
and cooked.
These sort of players, they've been fasting and playing football for years. They can deal with it really well. True. Salah will also be fasting.
Mane used to do it all the time.
Yeah, obviously it's hard, and respect to everyone that does that, but they're used to it now, that top level. But these are little things that can make a difference. Yeah. But a big one as well, Mordzs, your guy. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's back available, isn't he? So we'll see if he starts, maybe see if he's fit enough to start. But do you expect, obviously, Wan-Bissaka to play right back and Dalot moving to left back? And also, can I just say, I'm not Wan-Bissaka's biggest fan. I think he's a good player, but I think Dalot was better. But one thing, I think Dalot's quite a lot better, to be honest. But one thing I would say is having Wan-Bissaka against Luis Diaz will make a huge difference. Luis Diaz had Walker on toast in that City game.
Literally.
And if anyone can lock down a winger, it's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, you know what I mean? I literally, like you said, I think Wan-Bissaka, this is the perfect game for him to kind of jump into. Not only because of him having to go up against Diaz. But that left-back side, if anyone was going to play there today, I'd actually want Dalot to play there, if I'm being honest.
Man.
If anyone was going to play there, because that's the biggest battle on the pitch.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka's played left-back this season, by the way, as well. Don't forget.
For one game.
And he did all right.
It wasn't a bad game, but
he's not good enough on his left foot to play left
that's a bit. You can't force him in to come on. That's a bit tight. Now, anyway, back to the point I'm making. The biggest battle on the pitch today is going to be that left-back, right-wing position with Mo Salah and whoever he's coming up against. And I think the fact that we don't even know who he's going to come up against is already a problem. We don't even know who the left back's going to be today. If it is Dalot, I think that, in my opinion, that's the best option if Wan-Bissaka plays right back. But other than that, Lindelof would have a nightmare against him. Amrabat would have a nightmare against him. That's pretty much it.
Amrabat against Salah, I'd honestly rather watch like
give them the game
for an hour than watch
why
that.
wouldn't you play our potentially number one defender when it comes to, like, in the fullback position against their number one winger?
Who are you talking about?
Bissaka.
Oh, and left back.
I think I
Because
trust
all you're
Dalot
asking him to do
Salah.
is a defensive
but
role.
I trust Dalot. He's done well. He's done well with wingers this season. Dalot's having a great season. I trust him against Salah.
I wouldn't mind Dalot.
And you've got to think about the threat going forward as well. Like, Dallow's less likely to get caught out as left back because he can play well on both feet. Whereas, Wan-Bissaka, he has a hospital ball onto his left foot, which our team's capable of doing. Next thing you know, you're in trouble. So. You've got to play to players' strengths. Ideally, you'd have, Luke Shaw in, but you don't. One thing I would say is, even if Malacia is fit, I still think Dalot edges him at left back.
I can't even remember how good Malacia even is.
I know, to be fair, maybe that's just
don't even know.
With the team
game that I remember last time he played, wasn't it?
I remember the Europa League game against Sevilla, and he had a nightmare. I remember that game.
Apparently the team is already out, but I just want to get the 100% guaranteed team when it comes out in literally 1 minute's time. But let me just have a little bit look at that. I hope Wan-Bissaka is starting. I think the rumour is that he is. So that's good news for us if that is true.
That's great
everybody.
News. That's going to be the reason why we win.
Also,
I'm not being serious. That's going to be the reason why we don't lose anyway. The reason why we win will be obviously the attacking players, but the reason why we don't lose will be Wan-Bissaka's in that back four.
Also, 100%. Right, okay, I've got the 11. Everyone, get your opinions in about this as well. Interesting player starts for Man United, whom you might have not expected today.
Eriksen.
No.
Oh, okay.
So it's Onana in goal.
Yay!
Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Dalot, and Lindelof. So Lindelof is centre-back partner with Varane today. So Maguire's not back in, and we know Evans is injured. I think he's nursing back an injury. I wish Evans would have played because he was absolute quality last time I watched him at Old Trafford. But Lindelof there. For me, with Lindelof, I'll read the rest of the team and then we'll go into it. Then we've got Mainu, McTominay and Bruno in midfield, like we all said it would be. And Garnacho, Rashford and Hojlund as the front three. Our best front three, our best performing front three of the season. We score the most amount of goals when they're our front three. Play the best football going forward when they're our front three. So that's good. I don't know how much of the ball we'll see today. I hope it's not a complete domination by Liverpool. But them three on the counter-attack. I mean, we'll break down the whole starting 11. But I want to start off with Lindelof and everyone else get your comments in while I get the bench. Lindelof, do you guys trust him to partner Varane there today? Darwin Núñez is strong.
Yeah, I think
rapid.
Yeah, I was going to say he's very quick, and I think that's the main thing. Varane, not the quickest in my opinion. It's going to be a bit of a tricky one for him. But I still feel like I'm not sure. Lindelof. I feel like Lindelof's best attributes compared to the other defenders is actually his passing attributes. I think I agree. That's actually his best thing. That when I look at him, I think at least we have that out of Lindelof compared to. You look at the last game we played Liverpool. The main reason why I think they didn't score was because Maguire and Varane were just clearing everything. Total won pretty much nearly every aerial duel, every headed clearance. They're winning everything, and I'm not too sure if Lindelof is the best at that, which might be a liability, but. Hopefully, because he is playing next to Varane, and I'm hoping that there will be a bit more security with him. Maybe McTominay might drop in if they are, firing a lot of crosses. That'll kind of help it a bit in the box. But yeah, I'm a bit 50-50 on Lindelof playing. I'm
not confident, in all honesty. I think we all know the type of mistakes he can make, or when he pulls out of tackles, or he starts pulling back from strikers. And I think I agree with Beth as well. I would have kind of as weird as it sounds now saying it, I would have preferred Johnny Evans to play today, bringing that experience, and he's been solid as well with his partnership.
Getting your super chats regarding the team, also the poll on can you play Mount and Bruno together in the same midfield? Oh, it's a close one. 56% say no and 44% say yes. So, I mean, I think we will see that now. Mount is back and he's on the bench, everyone. So the bench for Man United is Heaton, Kumbwala, Maguire, Ahmad, Amrabat, Ericsson, Forson, Mount and Anthony. So you have, Ahmad, Mount, Anthony, Ericsson. You have players to bring off the bench there. Maguire, if you're defending a lead, he's probably just not fit enough maybe to start quite yet. But would you have played Maguire over Lindelof today? Here's another one that we can ask the chat as well. Let us know that. But for me with Lindelof, do you know what it is like? He's proved he can play well. Back end of last season, he played really well in that position, really well. And everyone was saying, was it Maguire that was making him look worse, or what was it? But then also, he has a tendency to have a game where he's, gets bullied, he can be soft quite a lot. And it's just, with Lindelof, you don't know if you're going to get a great performance or just a bang average poor performance. So it's I hope he turns up because he's capable of it. That's the good thing about it. He is capable of it. You're right, he is good on the ball. But another player I wanted to bring in, isn't it funny, right, that obviously Ten Hag pushed so much for Amrabat and he's not even seen a look in. He's the only out-and-out CDM and he's still not chosen to play him.
Yeah.
That's the most interesting one, I'll be honest. You make a very good point because we were under the impression that Amrabat's going to come in and it's going to elevate our midfield, but it's actually gone the opposite way. He's just become a squad filler player now at this point. And listen, maybe the managers brought him in and realised that the tempo of the league is probably a bit too much for Amrabat, and confidence is a big thing as well. If you don't hit the ground running, especially the time period when he came in as well, if you don't hit the ground running or have a good run of games, you can start looking shaky and people start raising their eyebrows. I think that's what's happened with Sofyan Amrabat. The only positive thing is he's not a permanent deal, he's a loan, so yeah.
I think the reason McTominay starts, people complaining, is one, because he has to, based on our options. Two is, the one thing you can say about McTominay is he knows what it means to play in a game like this. He knows the club inside out and he will give everything. We know we're not going to get extreme quality, but he is capable of a goal and he will put a shift in today, and that's exactly what we need. We need legs in that midfield. One thing I would say is, do you think it's going to be McTominay playing as the 8 and Mainu as the 6? Do you reckon that's how it'll be?
It's going to have to be. I don't trust McTominay deeper in the pitch, because we're going to need, at least, if we do have a bit of the ball, we need at least someone who can at least bring the ball forward from defence and midfield. From midfield to attack, that's a whole other conversation. But from defence to midfield, the last person that I want to touch the ball is McTominay. I think that's his flaw, which is wild to think because that's his position. But his flaw is genuinely bringing the ball in from the defence, transitioning it into the midfield and potentially working into attack. I think, if anything, push him more towards a 10. I'd actually, if we have possession of the ball, push him as far high as you want. I actually would rather him to be closer to Hojlund than to the defence. And maybe even let Bruno drop into an 8 of anything. But yeah, 100% Mainu.
You might see that. McTominay's been ahead of Bruno sometimes.
That's what I mean. So I'd actually rather that and let Mainu do what Mainu's good at, which is being confident on the ball and dictating the play a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big ask for Mainu today. It really is.
He played the first game, so.
Yeah, he did, and I'm confident in him, but it's a big game. It's a big game for a lot of players today. Yeah. Here's something interesting. It's a bit off topic, but I wanted to bring it in. Unfortunately, Ricky's connection isn't good, so we're going to try him in a bit, but for now he can't join. But he did send me this, which is interesting. Have you seen what the manager of FC Seoul said about Lingard?
What did he say?
Obviously, he's playing for that team now, and he said he only played a few minutes, and yet he didn't work hard and avoided tussle. If you run less than a footballer who has played 90 minutes, you're not even a footballer. Fame doesn't win football games. If it did, I would have brought in a famous retired player.
The coach said that?
The coach said that about Lingard. He came on in the 58th minute and he slandered him, saying he was running less than players that played 90 minutes. So, do you know, it's interesting. I always say this. It's so... a lot of players leave United and they don't go on to do that much elsewhere, anywhere, and that kind of shows the quality that we have in our squad. You look at players who leave other clubs and they go on and they do things. Ours don't really. I mean, you've spoke about Lukaku before, and obviously Darmian's playing for Inter and stuff now, but no one's really pulling up trees really. anywhere else. But that's interesting, I thought, from what Lingard's manager said. But here's also some breaking news: 3-2 to Chelsea in the 92nd minute. So they're going to go through now in that tie. I mean, if we do get past Liverpool, I mean, the obvious one is you're going to want Coventry in the next round, who played really well against Wolves yesterday. I watched that. Coventry, Man City, and obviously it's looking like Chelsea.
Yeah.
So you'd want either Coventry or Chelsea next. You want to avoid Man City at all costs. But interesting stuff. Don't want to, we don't want to tempt fate. We've got to get past this game first. But I mean, we'll talk a bit more about the starting 11, but also, people get your comments in. We've got a few here. So we have Tom Young saying West Ham leading against Aston Villa. Interesting. That's in the Premier League, isn't it? And Liam Monberg, a member for 6 months, says the foul in the Chelsea game was very much like the foul on Rashford from Walker. Both are pullbacks just outside the box. Maybe Rash went down easy. I mean, interesting stuff. We're going to talk about starting 11, what we expect to see.
Wow. Now West Ham are 1 point behind us. We have a game in hand, though. They're on 29 games. We're on 28. But they're one point behind us. I know it's the FA Cup and we're talking about the FA Cup, but this is what I was telling people, that, don't look at the two teams above us. Look at the two teams behind us. And we need to stay with the pace of the league.
Spurs, being Spurs yesterday, bottled against Fulham, didn't they? So
but the thing is, Beth, how many points away from Spurs are we? 6, right? But West Ham are 1 point behind us.
I get that.
So do you know what I mean? We need to keep pace at this point.
I get that. And West Ham look good too. West Ham look good. Kudos, by the way, flying.
What a goal.
Stop here. I'm gonna cry.
It's mad, innit? But I wanted to just ask you guys in the chat as well. How are we feeling? It's a big one. Are we nervous? Are we excited? Usually I'm dreading games like this, and I feel like I'm going to be watching it behind my fingers, but for some reason I'm excited. Maybe that'll come back to haunt me. But
yeah, probably will. But I think when it leading up to a game, I think everyone's kind of just realising, well, let's say the past week or since the last game, everyone's kind of just we're watching Liverpool win 6-1 the other day, and obviously United are struggling against everyone.
They scored how many goals in 14 minutes?
Yeah, something crazy. I don't know. But when watching City, I mean, the way they performed against City, we're thinking, these guys are looking strong. But I feel like every time it's match day, there's just that spark in the air. Especially because it's at home, it's not raining today. I feel like that makes a difference. Sometimes when the weather's not too bad, we feel a bit more positive. But I'm always optimistic as a United fan. I think 100% we can get. I mean, it's up to the players really, but I think 100% we can get a result.
How are you?
Nervous, very nervous. Very nervous. I mean, I just don't know what to expect from the team, because even in the City game, that Rashford goal, right? I was at the Etihad Stadium. I couldn't believe what I had witnessed, and that's Manchester United for you, isn't it? You just don't know where something's going to come out from. I'd love Rasmus Hojlund to get a goal. That if Rasmus gets a goal, I think, and we still have a clean sheet at that point, I'll be definitely much more in a better feeling. But the first, is it like 20 minutes FC that I used to call it? The first 20 minutes is just very nerve-wracking for Manchester United, isn't it?
That could be our most crucial 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's just the most crucial 20 minutes.
You're right. I mean, I'm excited. I don't think we'll necessarily match them in terms of, the amount of possession we have and quality, but I think we've got a chance this game. We've got a big chance. Old Trafford's going to be bouncing today. I'm so excited to go to the game. We want big games like this. I mean, obviously, we've had bigger games before, but this is a huge one. This is the biggest game of our season. And, I was watching the Champions League last week. I was watching the, Porto-Arsenal game, and I was thinking, God, I wish we had nights like this. Imagine being at Old Trafford, you're 1-0 down, you've got to score, and it's going into that territory, extra time. Yeah. And them nights like that, it's just, when you win, they're amazing, and we want more of that. We want to be playing the big teams. We want to be competing. The only thing is, when we've come up against the big teams this season, we've struggled to compete, really.
Yeah, I feel like today could be definitely like Arsenal did against Porto. That could be us today. I mean, especially the fact that there's no drawing today. You know what I mean? Someone's got to come out at the end and win. It's not like the first game we played them, it was 0-0. Everyone's kind of happy with it now, because if it goes to 0, if it's 0-0, 90 minutes, we're carrying on, and it's going to be penalties. And I think we're going to really see the players who have that fight in them today. We're going to see the players who really want to play for the club, the players who have really got that drive, because that's what's going to make us win. End of the day, like you said, we're not going to win off quality. End of the day, hands up, as a United fan, we're not going to win off quality. We're not going to win by having the most possession. We're going to win because of the fight that these players put into the game. So
they've got a couple key players missing as well. Don't forget.
Yeah, but they've still got.
But they're still
strong
just like
Trent.
Trent.
Trent and Alisson.
Alisson
Well,
as well.
One thing I would say is obviously Salah being back is going to be huge for them. Also, apparently the Cole Palmer assist was like insane. I mean, I wonder if Chelsea are regretting selling him. Not Chelsea, Man City regretting selling him. He's been class for Chelsea. He's been one of like their...
He's enjoying his time in Chelsea.
Pep don't regret anything.
He's definitely enjoying the manager trusting him and giving. That's what happens as well, by the way, when you give a young player who's not been given the opportunity, the trust. Look at what we've done with Garnacho, for example. Trusting him and he's given us great output.
Also, Faz, a lot of people say, the fact that West Ham are beating Villa is good for us because Villa are competitors for top 5. I know West Ham, you've got a lot below you, but realistically, would I rather West Ham lose points or Villa? If you're looking towards a top 5 race, which it is.
I look at it differently. I look at the league very differently.
At the end of the day, if we're just competing with West Ham, that means we're only competing for 7th place.
We want to be looking to get into the top 4. I don't want to be competing for Europa Conference League spots.
The reason why I say that is because I get both sides of the conversations right. We have to catch them and we have to stay away from the guys below us. So both arguments is right. I just like to look at it that way because we have a harder job to do catching them because they're further points ahead of us. How many points Villa are ahead? 7? I don't know. 8?
Don't know. Probably.
They're more than 6. I'm sure of that. How many points are Villa ahead of us?
I'll have to have a look.
So, imagine trying to catch up. So let me explain how I think of it, right? So Villa are at
50, 8 points ahead of us.
Right, 8 points. Villa have to drop points in 3 games. And we have to win.
They've played an extra game, though, than us.
Okay, so Villa have to drop 2 more games, and we have to win 2 games. We have to win an additional game after that to be...
Have you seen their fixtures compared to ours?
We have fixtures as well. Don't forget, we might have fixture lists that look more favourable for us, but we just lost to Fulham at home. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how I look at it. Villa can drop 2 games and still be at that position. Whereas even if we win 2 games, we're still going to be chasing.
I still think there's points to get there, and I think Villa are going to drop points. I think we definitely need to be looking towards them spots. But I get your point of view. I get your point of view, and obviously you might end up being right at the end of the season, but we'll have to wait and see. But talking about the cup tie as well, got a couple super chats coming in. The New Generation Entertainment says the return of Spider-Man and Hojlund has given me a glimmer of hope. That's, get excited for that as well, Hojlund back. Robert Lund, member for 22 months. I don't know about you guys, but I think we're going to be a lot better in this game. With Lindelof not on the left, I think we're going to be harder to beat. Good point. Lee Cape Town says, hi guys, Lindelof is not my favourite player, but him and Varane have a good partnership. Also, he's a good reader of the game and passer of the ball. Interesting stuff there from them. But let's talk about the team a little bit more here. So I've picked us out some players to watch, to have a look at. Also, it's 4-2 to Chelsea now, so they're definitely going to win.
Wow.
Players to watch. Hojlund is an absolute big one. We've spoken about him. But I've also picked out Rashford and Bruno. Big games for 2 senior players today, isn't it?
If I was to pick 2 players to watch, it would have been those 2. It would have been Rashford and Bruno because, first of all, Bruno, mainly based on the fact that we're not going to have a lot of chances. So I feel like the chance that we do have, Bruno's going to be involved and he needs to be on point. The last time we played them, I don't think Bruno played, and we only really had like 1 or 2 chances. And I think Hojlund missed one of them and Garnacho missed another. But it's those 2, 3, 4 chances that we have where we might not have the ball for about 10 to 15 minutes. The one time we do have the ball, Bruno needs to be on point with his passes. And we know he's going to be the main person who's going to be creating the chances anyway, passing the ball in behind or whatnot. So he needs to be the player that is 100% locked in for the whole game, making sure that he's efficient with his passes. He's not throwing it away, because if he throws it away too much this game, we're not going to get any chances. And Rashford and Garnacho and Hojlund are not going to have anything to even try and try to score with. So I think Bruno mainly is going to be very key to us actually scoring. And then Rashford and potentially Garnacho, just because those wide areas is where the space is going to be the most. Van Dijk's been one of the best players in the Premier League this year. Hojlund's going to have a super difficult game. I wouldn't blame him. He's in his
bag, Van Dijk, this season.
Say that again?
He's in his bag.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's back to his 2017-18 form.
Yeah, he's playing really well.
Amazing. So I wouldn't actually blame Hojlund too badly if he didn't have a crazy game against him, because it's going to be it's probably going to be his most difficult game of the season. And you can tell Van Dijk's obviously going to try and target him.
Just coming back from injury as well.
Just
I just really hope we've not rushed him back.
Yeah, literally. So he might not even be 100% anyway. So really and truly, the main threats is going to have to be the wide players, Rashford and Garnacho. So those two are going to have a serious competition, serious battle with their fullbacks.
My 2 players would have been mine or one of them, because he's been.
I was going to go with him.
He's been asked to drop in deeper, so I want to see how he does, and I think. For the qualities that he has, the composure as well he has, you know. I don't think I ever see him on the pitch and he looks like he's panicking, or even if he may look like he's out of possession or being pressed, he's just very composed. Absolute ice cold. I think he would have been one of them. And the other one would have been whoever plays left back, because obviously we don't have our preferred left backs right now. So, if it's Bissaka, then probably Bissaka, or Dalot, then probably Dalot, because they have a job on their hand to mark this guy. You know, Salah is even though he's just come back for them, we know what he can do. You know, he's one of the best players in the world. You know, some would say. So to contain him, whoever plays that position, is a big ask. And if they do well today, that player will be shooting up the ranks for sure. Yeah,
it is. It's a huge ask. And then Marcus Rashford, obviously, you said, you know.
Sorry, if Dalot locks up Salah today, and we end up winning this game, you are taking me to Nando's. And I don't want to hear I don't want to hear anything. You are taking me to Nando's.
Wait, what does lock up?
I'd kill a Nando's right now.
Yeah. What does lock up mean, though? Because if Salah has 10 shots and he doesn't score, does that count as him locking up?
We won the game, but I mean, you said we will win the game because of our forwards, and we won't lose the game because of Bissaka. So I'm using the same thing.
I just want to know, what does lock up mean?
If we win the game,
that doesn't mean he's locked him up.
And Dalot had played left back. Okay,
let's have it this way. If Dalot gets a 7 or above Dalot gets a 7 or above on the player ratings today, Mark's player ratings.
I'm not relying on Mark.
No, it's the community one.
Okay.
The community one.
7 or above.
No, not the community.
Wait.
The community will set me up for failure. They'll have me starving here. They don't give a shit. No. We'll go off an app, like, I don't know. We'll go off.
Locking up has to be an 8 out of 10, I'll be honest. That's what locking up means.
No.
Locking up is not 7.
Even Bissaka can give you an 8 out of 10 against Salah.
What?
At left back.
He's not a left back though. Like,
exactly.
Put Salah on the right and he'll give me an 8 out of 10.
Is my player.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, they're both playing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're both playing.
Whoever has a better game.
As in higher score.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So whoever has a higher score takes the winner. Yeah.
Am I invited?
Yeah.
Stay out of this. You concentrate on the bench, yeah? Concentrate on Mason Mount. Concentrate on Bruno.
Hey, if Mason or Bruno scores, what am I getting out of this?
If Bruno scores, I might have to, yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Join us on the forum.
Yes. Dalot, I swear, if you let me down, yeah.
You've got a difficult game, man.
Well, you have to tune in later to find out what's going on. I mean, Vaz just sitting there eating his Nando's on the forum.
And Dalot score, that doesn't count. That doesn't mean anything, by the way.
I don't care. The rating is
I'm
the
rating.
Saying,
But anyway, guys, Bruno, Rashford, you talk about, Bruno's going to be key in through balls on the break, because that's how I think we're going to have to score.
Yeah.
But Rashford, again, big game player, scored a lot of big games, been criticised a lot this season. Did you see him stepping up today?
Hopefully. I mean, everyone knows I'm a Rashford fan anyway, and I always want, like I said before about if you want anyone to score today, it'd be Hojlund. If I want anyone to score today, it's Rashford. He said it before that he loves playing at Anfield, he loves playing at Etihad. He scored at Etihad, so he kind of, not playing at Anfield today, I would have been at Old Trafford, but he's still playing against Liverpool. So yeah, and I think the goal as well.
He's a big game player. He's a big game player.
He's got so many. I think he's got 30 goals against the top 6. I think.
Yeah, they've got 6 goals against every top 16, which is crazy when you think about it. Like,
so I was speaking to Dimitri Mitchell, who'll probably be watching this show. Big up Dimitri, and I was going back and forth with him about Rashford.
Yeah.
And I was saying, obviously, Dimitri, you're probably Rashford's friend or Rashford's boy. So and he's like, no, it's not that. But if you really if you really think about it, who is that one player that you can rely on to score in a big game? And it's Marcus Rashford. And I couldn't argue against that. As much as he's like, yeah, all the points you make, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. But if you were to put your money on one player to score in a big game against the top 6 team, who would it be?
Rashford.
It would be Marcus Rashford.
He's our biggest game player. Easily.
Gomez as well. I think he can get it in. I think.
Yeah,
he can.
100%.
So,
You're playing against someone who's out of position already, so you've already got a bit of a one-up. And pace-wise, he's taking Gomez every day of the week.
Going to be a tough day for Garnacho against Robertson. I think Garnacho can step up though. I think he can step up to the plate, but it's going to be tough for him because not only obviously is Robertson, you know, he's good going forward and backwards, but Garnacho's going to have to track back. He's going to have a long day tracking Robertson. But, you know, Ten Hag really trusts him. I don't know how many games he started on the bounce now. You know, he had that little dip where people criticise him, which I thought was ridiculous because he's a young player playing every single game. But found form, good time now going into this Liverpool game. Everton basically won us the game by getting us them 2 penalties. Garnacho today could be a big one for us as well. Yeah,
not even just about scoring, even just assisting, being a creative player with to Hojlund. Because I mean, you spoke about how much you want Hojlund to score today. I think if he was going to get chances, Rashford and Garnacho are going to be obviously plus Bruno, but they're going to be crucial to even putting the ball into Hojlund. So it might not even necessarily be him getting a goal. It could just be him finding Hojlund, finding that key pass where it could be like a last pass. Like, you know, like we're in the final third, and a lot of our decision making in the final third has been poor this season. I'm not going to lie. And I think that's one thing that Garnacho needs to improve on going forward. But if he can step up this game and find that the correct pass to the right player, the right way to pass, and we do get a goal out of it, that's going to be something that, you know, is obviously a benefit for having Garnacho in the team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Ricky's just sent me a message that he wants me to read out. So he said, hope I'm wrong here, but the 3 at Liverpool, McTominay, Mainoo and Amrabat, had a big say in keeping us in the game. And at City, McTominay, Mainoo and Casemiro literally until injury time. They only got 2-goal lead in injury time. Today we're 1 short in there. I can't believe it. I know it could happen anyway, but I think it massively improves their chances of battering us. Talking about the midfield there, Ricky.
He wanted Amrabat in there.
He wanted 3 like quite defensively aware midfielders in there.
He would have taken off Bruno and put in Amrabat and just locked it up.
He would have, yeah. But
it's not the league though. Nil and we'll be carrying on the game though.
That's his.
Yeah, but in a football game you create.
I get where he's coming from. I am nervous about that midfield. I can't lie.
Because I remember before the City game, I had said on the show that I don't know where we're going to get a goal from. I don't see us creating chances. And then Rashford scored that goal, and Ricky texted me straight away, and he said,
"Don't worry about where the goal's coming from."
Yeah, he says you never know where a goal can come from. So I can understand his point.
Because the only thing I'm hoping is I would so take 0-0 going in at half time. I just don't want to be out the game early. You know, don't be out the game. 1-0 down, lock it up, keep your heads in it. You know, all you need is one. You know, but when it gets to 2 goals deficit, it's tough. It's a really tough job. So, and that could easily happen. Just don't let it happen quickly. We've got to approach this game in the right way. Old Trafford, do you think, I mean, obviously, God, we're running out of time, but do you think Ten Hag's going to use that sit-back counter-attack approach? Yeah.
I don't see him going any other way. You can't go machine for machine with Klopp. It's not. Rock and roll, leather jacket football is what Klopp is known for. That's his forte. Yeah. You cannot do that. That would be suicide. That would just be absolute suicide if you're trying to play, gun for gun with Klopp. Yeah. And he thrives in that moments as well. His team loves stuff like that. Look at how they played City, for example. You know. The goals that they just scored in the Europa League campaign, 4 goals in 14 minutes. Yeah. You never know when they step on the gas. It's horrible. And their front 3 as well, so much energy. That gegenpressing style that they do. You know, Diaz, Darwin and Salah. They'll press for days. They're just absolute monsters in the midfield. Endo. Who else is playing in their midfield? McAllister and Szoboszlai. Again, just energy, full of energy.
We'll get in your last super chats towards the end of the show. Predictions, how you're feeling, let us know. But we've also got some news coming in here from Samuel Luckhurst saying that Casemiro suffered a reoccurrence of a hamstring injury. Dressing room sources suggested the intense demand of Man United training sessions have contributed to Casemiro's latest setback. Dressing room sources, I don't. It's
hearsay.
Hearsay, innit? The only thing is we know he suffered a hamstring injury. I'm sick of this training intensity excuse. I don't think it washes.
So what's he actually said about the training intensity in the report?
He said that dressing room sources suggested the intense demands of Man United's training sessions have contributed to Casemiro's latest setback in terms of his injury. But for me, it's like I don't buy this training's intense I know it is intense, but you're playing for a top team. How do you get fitter? How do you get better? Mark was speaking about this on the morning show, but anyway, we've not got time to talk about it. We've only got 3 minutes left. Predictions, score predictions.
2-1.
I was going to say the same, 2-1 Manchester United.
I'm going 2-1 as well.
Yeah.
2-1 Manchester United.
So we are predicting a win. We love that. We're all going to get humbled out.
Have to be, though. You really have to go for it today. Play smart, don't make mistakes, and stay composed, and don't panic. Yeah, it's the most important thing. Don't panic.
Anand says, I still feel a 1-0 98th minute winner coming. Can't say it'll be us for sure though. God, imagine a Mason Mount win off the bench. I don't care who scores. Honestly, do not care who scores as long as it goes in. Yeah. Extra time and pens, by the way.
Yeah, but Andre Onana.
Andre Onana.
Imagine. If he can pull something out the bag as well. But you know, I was just going to say, right, I know we all love Manchester United and we all want the Manchester United to do well, and we're all open to, you know, players leaving and whatever. But each one of us has a favourite player in the team that we would hate for Manchester United to sell. As much as we're, you know, players out and manager in.
He does?
She wouldn't like Bruno Fernandes to be sold.
No.
At all.
I don't know.
No. At all. You wouldn't like Bissaka to be sold.
But if the manager wanted to, and it was for the betterment of the team and his vision, then, you know, you've got to do what you got to do. But personally, I think it'd be a mistake to sell him. Yeah, of course. I love him. I think he's great.
I was like that with David. I was so upset with David leaving, but I had said on shows and everything, for the betterment of the team, I'll go ahead and part ways. But it was tough. I also wanted to ask you guys for the last minute that we have or whatever.
I wanted you to do your motivational speech.
I will do. Thoughts on Jadon Sancho?
As in how he's performing?
Yeah,
he had a good game in the Champions League. I don't think that means anything though. Like, unless he wins the Champions League. He had good games before at Dortmund in the Champions League. He had good games for us in the Champions League, so nothing's changed. I'm not really too excited about it. It's good. Okay. I think it's better for him, and let him raise his price tag when we sell him. Okay. That's how I look at it.
Can't hack it at United. Can hack it at Dortmund. Great, 35 mil, lovely, thank you. Thank you very much. Just I don't think, I think he's talented, really talented, just don't think he can hack it at United personally. But yeah, anyway, Faz, let's have your speech. Make it a good one.
Listen, I was saying this to the producer the other week, and I will say it again, that there is infinite beauty in every storm. And when you see darkness in front of you and you see no light, all you have to do is look down, and as long as you can see your feet, you have to take the next step. That's what Manchester United need to do today. Just keep taking the next step. Don't look backwards. Don't get scared. Don't panic. You have 73,000 fans here, and we know Merseyside is full of shit. So Liverpool, they can get it. Jamie Carragher can get it as well. How about that, yeah? Go and smash these lot. Get us to Wembley, and I promise you, if Manchester United win today, I might even storm the pitch.
No, you're not.
I might even.
No, you're not.
I'm not doing that. I'm going to message for United. Say, what the hell are you doing? Nah, but come on, boys. Please, for the love of God, please, just.
Wembley trip will hit nice.
Bring it home, please. Just please, I beg you. I think that would be my thing as well. Prayer emoji today again. Just drop the prayer emoji in Mark's stream, because.
Yeah, we're going to need... We need everything on our side, but realistically, we have the capabilities to do it. Can the manager and the players show up? Because he's on both the manager and the players today. Got to get it right. Eric's got to get his game plan right, his in-game management. He's got to have a plan A, B, C. Got to get his subs right, and the players have got to step up to the plate. No way do I want to see Liverpool players running more than you, doing more than you. We're at Old Trafford. Let's have it. But anyway, Mark is live now. We're all going with a 2-1 prediction. We will see you very shortly after the game. Could be a long one, extra time penalties, who knows? But go and join Mark live. Before you do that though, please hit a like on the video. Please do that, it really does help us out. And yeah, infiltrate the chat.
Pray emojis.
Praying. We'll love you and leave you. Come on United, and we'll see you after.